We're faced with an explosion in the levels of child poverty.
Everybody's experiencing a rise in the cost of living. The money that people earn has been going down, wages aren't going up, and it's falling hardest on children.
After housing costs, the breadline in Britain is set at £14 a day. In Scotland, 260,000 children are living below it.
Mom, what are we eating at home?
Rice?
No, okay, some nice rice.
I don't want rice.
Oh yeah, I do want rice actually. I'm quite hungry for rice.
For 11-year-old John, living below the breadline means enduring a long walk to and from school every day.
Mom, slow down. I'm tired. I had a busy day at school, okay?
What's on your mind when you come out of school?
What am I going to do at home? I mean, I'd rather like work more in school. Only because TV, I mean, everybody has a TV in the school. I do not have a TV. I mean, living without a TV is tough. I'm always trying to think of something to entertain myself.
Mom, next time, can we not come through this route? It's too long, and there's a massive hill.
Do your friends have money in their pockets?
Oh yeah, they got a ching-ching.
Really?
Like they literally say, oh, you want to go to the shops, you know, go buy some Coke or something. And I'll be like, nah, I'm alright. I mean, when I think about other people planning all these things, yes, it could affect me, but then I'm grateful for what I have, so yeah.
John's mum used to work as a carer with the NHS. But when her visa expired, she had to stop work and apply for leave to remain. Christiana is not entitled to any benefits, so John's family is living without any income at all.
What do you know about leave to remain and your mum being able to work?
All I know is that when you don't have your leave to remain in the UK, it's like they're trapping you, because if you don't have that, you can't work. If you can't work, you can't maintain a house, which means you have no money. Probably live on the streets, and then when you live on the streets, the conditions and stuff are not good.
In order to survive, John's family rely entirely on donations from local people. Their rent and all of their food is provided by a small independent charity.
Can you get the cereal, please, now? All right.
John's 19-year-old sister, Dami, volunteers with the organisation that helps them. Today, she's preparing emergency food parcels for local families.
That goes in there, right? All our foods actually do come from here, like.
So without this place?
Yep, without this place, we're basically done. We would go hungry, stranded, kicked out, live, like just maybe staying underneath a bridge or something. We do get hungry because we didn't have like enough food in the house, enough to no food in the house actually. So we do get hungry. My brother, yeah, John, he just wants to eat. I think it's part of growing up. He just wants to eat whenever he wants to eat. I pretend, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. John, you can have it. And he likes it. He knows I like it. But I think John is smart. He's not dumb. He's really smart. He knows what's happening. So he's just like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. So I just give it to him. You know, you have it. And maybe I would have something else, or I would wait to like later on to like then have like a meal.
John has applied for free school meals twice and been refused on both occasions. So he has to take a packed lunch to school.
The packed lunch is coming from here because we get food from here. Yeah, so he likes noodles, but yeah, he takes noodles to school. Noodles, sometimes rice. He just doesn't like the fact that he wants something hot, and at the time it's lunchtime at school, it's just cold and it's just yucky.
But despite the rejection, John's not given up hope.
They can have nachos and cheese. They have fish and chips on a Friday. I think they have some rice sometimes, some things. What else do we have? So you have a choice of some sandwiches.
Why do you want a school dinner?
The taste and the fact that it's hot. Yeah.
What's so great about a hot meal?
It just warms you up. That was nice.
William, 7 minutes to 8. Thank you, good lad. Time check, we done?
Helen lives with her two sons, 14-year-old Nathan and 17-year-old William.
Here we go, Paddington Bear rolls for today. Cheap and cheerful.
Do his lunch every day, Helen?
Yes, yes. It's far too expensive to try buying things for lunch. And he gets a wee bit more if I make it for him as well. Right, darling. Jumper.
William is an engineering apprentice on a small wage, earning £3.50 an hour.
That's your lunch in there. I've packed you a Paddington Bear roll as well, just in case you get hungry. Right, so what time's this assessment? Just whenever they give you. Right. Do you know, I've actually got paper up there, son, in that blue folder to save you buying it. I know, but it was just to save you buying it. But
I'd rather have it.
begging your pudding. Yeah, I know you get annoyed with me. I just keep trying to save you money all the time. This is going to be a hard one though, isn't it? I love you, son. You have a good day. And we'll see you tonight. Aww.
Helen doesn't work, as she is a full-time carer to Nathan, who has autism.
Bye.
Nathan attends a local secondary school and one day would love to be an actor.
This is one of my puppets, Big Bird, which I like. His name's either Zig or Zag from the Zig and Zag show. He's a cheaper version of Kermit the Frog. And because this one won't cost me like £15, which is not bad. And I like Kermit the Frog because he's really cool, isn't he? And he's funny as well.
I'm my son's carer. And I have to be on call like constantly when he's out the house, and even when he's in the house I have to be on call. You have to plan things, and like if something's happening with my youngest, he has to have at least 24 hours notice, because if you say to him, right, okay, in 10 minutes we're doing that, it's like, oh no, he has a meltdown because he needs to be prepared and it's a 24-hour job. Bye. Try and leave £15 for that for a week.
Helen receives a carer's allowance, but is still £14 below the breadline each week. So every day is a struggle.
Well, I found that I should have £25 left if all going according to plan. TV licence is 3, and what else? Pocket money. You just have to be forward thinking always. It's like thinking, right, what can I make for tomorrow? How much will I need? Have I got everything? And yeah, I've got everything. And if I haven't, can I improvise rather than going and buying something else? So it's like, right, can I cut a corner with that? Can I cut a corner with this? How can I do this? And how can I do that? And it's every day, every single day. And it's exhausting. It would be wonderful just to sort of go to the shop and say, yeah, I'll buy whatever I need, that's fantastic. But that's not going to happen.
For Helen, Feeding her family on a low income is all about tactics.
It's fine coming over every day to see if there are any bargains, and it's coming over at the right time, first come, first serve. If I can get some, like maybe 2 or 3 packets of cheap meat or something like that, that'll do us all week. And then my son loves rolls for his piece, so I'm going to go to R.S. McCall's because that's where I get my 5p rolls because they're yesterday's. And if they don't have any, then he doesn't get rolls. He just has to have what I've got. And anything else I can pick up. And I come out of there so happy, and people must think I lead such a sad life because I just got a roll for 5p. But it's what I need to do. Sometimes we're lucky to get a special offer.
But sometimes the tactics don't work.
Oh, well, nothing special for the boys tonight, never mind. I go home feeling really quite gutted because it's like, oh, damn, I could have, it would have been nice if I could have put something really special on the table for tea tonight, but it's just, it's a hit and a hope. Days are different. I mean, tomorrow could be a fantastic day, the day after could be a fantastic day, or it could be absolutely nothing.
Tonight, it's cheese and ham toasties.
I never asked you. What have you done today at school?
Don't say nothing, because that's the answer I always get. What are you doing at school then? Nothing.
That's right, kids get automatic amnesia as soon as they leave class.
I done PE today, first period.
The worst thing I've got to say is having to say no to them and watching their faces drop because you can't get them what they want. I think that has to be the most soul-destroying thing.
We've got to be really crucial about the amount of soap that we use, because this soap is good, but then if we use too much, then we're going to waste the soap, and then when we need the soap, there wouldn't be enough. So, yeah. So, when the soap reaches about here somewhere, that's where we put water, and that makes our emergency soap. And then after that, the water will probably reach around here. So then when that gives us time to get more soap. And then after that's done, we carry on using the emergency soap, and then we use the new soap, and then we just repeat the process over and over again.
It's a year and a half since John moved from London to Dumfries.
This house was just too expensive. The money was 1,200, right? So we had to move.
Spiralling living costs in London drove their decision to move to Scotland.
And then the second house, this was the house that was next to the hospital where I was born. And then this house was just way too expensive. I mean, it was £1,000 for a month. Recently there was a terrorist attack there on the road, and we used to live on that road as well. Someone sprayed acid on somebody there.
Well, the reason why my family moved here, I think my mama, she kind of wanted somewhere like peaceful and like more quiet. It was getting really, really bad, and she just wanted to move. And the houses are way cheaper here.
And then house number 3 was a nightmare. The woman, she still has her £800 deficit. One day I will collect it from her. And then this house was our friend's house. We couldn't live in that house forever, so we moved.
But the move to Scotland caused a split in the family, and John's father has remained in London.
The Home Office, they need to change the way they assess like people, like especially families. I'm not disputing like other like single people putting their papers through, but I'm just saying, especially families, how would your decision, what you're going to say, how would the decision you make, how is it going to affect the family? Like, is it going to break the family, or is it going to like just bring them closer. And this has literally kind of like broken the family because my papa is not here, like, and
so here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pals, yeah. I mean, I did meet good friends along the way. Yeah, met some good friends. But then I had to leave them.
sometimes you just think, okay, you're a child, so am I invisible? Am I not in the picture? What's going on? I'm gonna be an adult one day. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna pay taxes. Listen to what I have to say. Help me build my future.
This is the streets of London. The words and music are by Ralph McTell. And right here, Millie is tweeting and getting ready for me to play music.
I don't know what goes on in John's head. I don't know. I'm like John's best friend. He tells me everything, but I'm sure there's certain things John would not tell me because he can't be that cheerful like all the time, no. Because he definitely knows what's going on. And this has been from while he was quite young, so he knows every little thing. He's seen like family, like members of the family, like my mom, my dad. He's seen them break down like really sad and everything, and I'm sure he's gonna be disturbed by that. But because John is just trying to be all strong and strong for everyone, you can't see it. But I'm sure John actually goes through a lot. So it's from while he was quite young, so he knows every little thing. He's seen like family, like members of the family, like my mom, my dad. He's seen them break down like really sad and everything, and I'm sure he's gonna be disturbed by that. But because John is just trying to be all strong and strong for everyone, you can't see it. But I'm sure John actually goes through a lot. So it's quite sad.
Son and 8-year-old daughter Olivia.
Right, Olivia.
Money's never far from Olivia's mind.
I'm going to probably spend most of it on the winter fair because the winter fair...
No, I don't think so.
But the winter fair has really great stuff.
No, I don't, you're not, no.
It kind of costs a lot.
I know because it's £1 and a 50p or whatever, but I just think that you don't need to be buying too much stuff because it's stuff you don't even need.
Marie works in a bakery in the Gorbals.
So maybe three rolls then, 85 grams, and then maybe a smaller one for the third. I'm a community baker, so I bake bread for the community in the Gorbals, working with people that are kind of on the margin in society. This is the Gorbals loaf, which is half brown and half white, especially because it's made by people's hands and it's made slowly. So, you know, it's not like the bread that gets made in supermarkets, which gets made fast.
Part of Marie's job involves managing a team of volunteers.
I just love working with people. It's a great way of building relationships, standing next to somebody making bread. You're just talking and you're getting to know their neighbour. Although I've got my stuff going on, but I always want to help somebody else.
Marie is employed part-time and works 16 hours a week. Throughout her working life, she's been in and out of low-income jobs and on and off benefits.
Employment isn't the way out of poverty. I chase every penny. I pay everything weekly. So I'm left with like £30, £34 a week. So it's got to get you to the next week.
Olivia wants to be an accountant when she grows up.
Since they don't really have any money left, they just use a credit card. which credit cards get used a lot of times for lots of things. And it goes like this.
Do you think Olivia, at her age, picks up on the struggle you have?
She does, but just have to say no. You get a moan and a groan about it, but I do go over it. They know that I'm always going on about money, do you know? Money's tight, we can't get this, we can't get that. I'm always going on about turning the lights off, you know, saving electricity, saving this. I'm on tablets for just because I don't really sleep. I can't sleep normally. I have to get something to go to sleep because I just think. Sometimes it just gets to you and, you know, and you can't say you're fine. So I've been off my work a couple of times. I was off my work not long ago there and I ended up in hospital just with the stress of it all.
How would you like it to be?
I don't want to be rolling in money, you know. I just want to be able to not to worry about like every single thing, you know. Having to count out your food every week and looking at your electricity every time to make sure you've got enough electricity in. I don't want to be doing that. Is this ever going to go away? I don't know if it's ever going to get better.
Oh, I think I'll have another cup of tea.
When Helen's children were younger, she worked in low-paid retail jobs.
I was working up until my husband and I split up. And then obviously we're having the kids and we're having my youngest with unique qualities. I had no choice, I had to give up work. And I didn't want them thinking that, oh, it's a fantastic life sitting on the dole, not doing anything and just sort of making ends meet every week. That's not a life people would choose. Oh, hello, my dear.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. Lovely to see you. Oh.
Helen's friend Kerry also has a child with care needs.
When you became my buddy, it was like somebody, I know this sounds really, really theatrical, but it's like somebody had taken the black clouds away. And with the blue skies, because it's like somebody finally saying, do you know what, it's okay to feel like that. And then we went to those, the meetings, the autism meetings.
Yes.
And then that sort of got me back out wanting to speak to people again and stuff like that. Eh?
You do put a face on it, don't
Yes,
you?
you do.
It's like
Yes, you do.
you're like, yeah, everything's fine, and inside you're screaming
That's
because
right.
you're so stressed and worried and anxious and maybe not sleeping.
Well, that's right.
And you just feel like, oh my goodness, how can I possibly make this work? Because I'm trying to pay all of these bills with not much money, but you don't want to sit and show the kids how you're really feeling.
Well, that's
so
right,
you mask it.
Yeah, you don't want your kids knowing that you feel like a failure because you can't do what they need you to do and you've got yourself in debt because you've tried to do what they need you to do. This is where mental health issues come in. Because you just get yourself into like oblivion because you're like, I can't get out of this. I mean, how many people actually want to admit that they're in debt up to their eyeballs and then go to the doctor and you say, right, okay, this is what's happening to me. Well, I mean, the antidepressants, the mask things, they don't fix it, and then you have to find your way to fix it. But when you feel depressed and you're like, well, I actually don't want to go out the house today. Never mind facing my problems. I don't even want to face anyone.
Society wants us to obviously be out working, but we can't be doing that if we've got like the caring responsibilities. And I think they think that being a lone parent is like a choice, you know, and nobody wakes up and goes, you know what, I'm going to be a lone parent because that sounds like great fun.
I love Nathan to bits and pieces, obviously, but if I could get out and get a job full time, of course I would. Why would you want to struggle every single week and try and make everything stretch when you know it's not going to?
You want some cabbage, Mizzy?
Working mum Marie has been living in her flat for the last 12 years. When she and her children moved in, they had nothing.
People might think, no, look at her house. But at the end of the day, do you know, lots of things I've been given. Do you know, like, see for instance, this kitchen, every appliance is from somebody. The microwave is from somebody. That telly just get given. You know, that mixer, when I was at a baking course, the woman gave me because she had two. The microwave, that's a cracker in a microwave. Pay a fortune for that. And I got it for free. I couldn't go out and buy a £400 washing machine. I wouldn't have that money. I'd have to take a while to get that, but you need it then. You need it now. And you don't have that. You know, somebody gave me the couch in the sitting room. My dad gave me the telly. Do you know? All these things are being given to me. The church, the piano was from the church. The table in there is my name. Do you know, everything's donated.
Living in a two-bedroom house with two children means Marie's sitting room doubles as a bedroom.
I've been sleeping in the sitting room for about 3 years. I had a room and then Olivia, so she slept with me, but she was getting a bit old and her friends wanted to come up and play, so I thought, you know, I need to give her the room. I slept on the couch first for a bit, and then my neighbour gave me a Z bed. I just slept for 2 years, and then I got this bed a couple of months ago, so which is much better than sleeping in a Z bed. But still not ideal for to be sleeping in the sitting room. I just don't like having my bed exposed to everybody coming in. Yes, I don't have that privacy, so I worry all the time about, you know, my living situation's been in the sitting room, and it just affects your health. You don't think it does, but it really does.
Despite having a job which pays the living wage, Marie is £13 below the breadline every week.
So I've got 4 different kind of arrears and debts going on just now. And that's just how it is for families finding it hard working. That's just what it's like for people. My house in arrears, I'm paying back £4 a month. I'm sure it's something like just under £500. At £4 a month, when is that going to be paid? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That's going to be a long time. It's going to be about 3, 6, 9, 12 years? Can't be about 12 years, maybe 10 years. Maybe they might not let me do that, I don't know. That's a long time.
What age will they live?
Olivia she might have even been left to house by then, and I'll be still paying in arrears.
Aberdeen is one of Scotland's wealthiest cities. A hub for the oil and gas industry, it brings billions of pounds into the country. But it doesn't reach everyone who lives here. The beach is one of 13-year-old Nikita's favourite spots.
Having all the noise from the waves, it's nice. Even though it's like noisy, it's peaceful, and it's nice seeing like all the birds and the waves moving and stuff. I think I would like to go on the Ferris wheel because I've always wanted to go on one of them. Normally, like, kids think it's quite cheap to come down to the beach and stuff, but then like sometimes you end up like having to get like a meal and stuff, and then like kids like sometimes like to go into Cadonas and that. You end up spending a fortune.
When she was 4, Nikita's home life changed.
When my dad was around, it was a little bit easier because he was working, but when he left, I think money got a little bit tight. a little bit more harder to live. I don't ask my mum to go out, like get money for going out for lunch, because I know sometimes my mum needs money for like bus fares and stuff. I don't ask to like get money for going out with my friends and stuff.
There's still even labels and tags on some of this stuff.
Nikita's mum, Kerry, volunteers with a nearby charity. They've just received a delivery.
Ah, look at that. 2 brand new pairs of shorts for a start in school.
A few years ago, Kerry had to give up work to care for her 2 sons. She receives a carer's allowance, but is still £32 below the breadline each week.
It's just life and I just get on with it. Now that the children are getting a bit older, they are noticing, Mum, why aren't you eating breakfast any of the days? Or why do you wait until last thing at night before you're having something to eat? Because that's often what I'll do. I'll go all day, I won't eat anything, and then last thing at night, just before they're going to bed, once I know that they've had everything that they require for that day, if there's something left, then I'll eat that. And if that's a piece of bread toasted with some butter, that's what I'll have that day. It's a shameful feeling as well, because you can't give your children the absolute basics and essentials that they need for school life or socialising, or even taking my 3 children to the cinema would cost so much money. That could get a week's worth of meals. So when you try and balance it like that, you have no alternative but to say no to your children on a constant daily basis. So you're depriving them of what they see all around them other children having. There is still days and days where I will be consumed with worry that something's suddenly going to change again, or there will be a sanction through my benefits and I will be straight back at square one. And it doesn't go away because you're constantly waiting for that to happen again. And sometimes you can't breathe because it's so relevant and real. It's like it's always chasing you at your back. So you're just trying to keep things as balanced as you can, but you're always aware of that.
What do you think about when you come down here?
Just like stuff, like school and stuff.
For Nikita and many of the 250,000 kids in Scotland growing up in poverty, sometimes going to school comes with a price.
A lot of kids judge people like me because of not having branded clothes and having like really cheap trainers and stuff, and then like people saying stuff that isn't true, and then like judging people like me because of it. Most of it is because I don't have a phone. People have these really nice phones and I don't have one, and people like think it's alright to say stuff about it. Yeah, it may be annoying. There's not much I can do about it.
What would you like to say to kids that behave that way?
Stop bullying people for money, about money, and you should listen to the kids because the kids go through it. And even though the parents are the ones that have to deal with it, the kids have to go to school every day, they have to go home every day, and people should listen to us and listen to the things we've got to say, because it matters.
It's half-term and John has 2 weeks off school. All the food he eats comes courtesy of a local food bank.
So I opened it and look at how much space is left. I mean, they should at least fill it up a little bit more.
But it's fine. At least I have something. Ah, much better.
Ryan's not hungry.
So is this a holiday treat?
Yeah.
So what are you doing today then? Don't even mention I'm not going to the park today.
I wasn't gonna say
Yeah,
that.
because I thought you were gonna say that. What do you want to do? Why are you rushing your food?
I'm not rushing.
Your food is not running away, like.
John's bike, a gift from a friend, is all he's got to pass the time.
Some people, they're going to Croatia, going to London. I feel like, oh, that's a shame. I can't do that because I don't have money. But then I remember that I should be grateful for what I have.
What's it like in the holidays?
I think it's getting a tiny bit boring now.
Why is that?
Well, just because when you're in school, there's more things to do, but when you're not in school, it's just nothing.
Do you miss school?
Yeah, a little bit.
Eight-year-old Olivia is spending a lot of her holiday time at home too.
And what have you been up to?
Just like, not that much, just playing.
School holidays are hard. You just, find something to do in the park or have friends over or something like that. But there's a lot of holidays, so it's a big strain, when you say, what we're doing for the holidays.
Do you think there's anyone at your school that has a struggle with that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because sometimes they might just be a bit sad because, like, their mum can't struggle, and somebody said I can't go on holiday because of, but yeah.
The holidays, and it's more food. Is it because when the kids are at school, they are getting what you're worrying about having the lunch because they're getting the lunch at school, and then when they're not at school, then you're thinking, right, okay, I've got to have that, I've got to make that lunch. I don't really bother. I can miss a lunch or I can miss this. But, a bit of toast, that's, you're still having something, but it's quite stressful. Because you just have to count every penny and think about, right, I've got to, how many dinners I've got to buy, how much, all this kind of counting kind of thing.
Helen has had to pay an unexpected bill, so money is tight this week and she is raiding her cupboards.
I'm making pasta bolognese. I'm making, first of all, with cheese on top. And because I'm only using half the mince, there won't be a great deal, but there'll be enough. And as per usual, things get left and the apples have been there for a wee while. Nobody's eaten them. So I'm making an apple crumble for afterwards to fill them up. I've got their favourite chocolate biscuits to make, but what they don't realise is their favourite chocolate biscuits have actually come from cereal and biscuits they wouldn't eat in the first place. To anybody else probably wouldn't be a treat, but It's a treat to them, and why not? It doesn't cost much to make. It really doesn't, and it's a lot cheaper than buying a packet of biscuits.
Do you ever go to all this effort and it's not received well?
Sometimes, yeah, and then I think, well, what do you want from me? Blood? Yeah, sometimes it isn't received well, and then I think, oh well, I'll have to do it differently the next time, or I'll have to come up with some other crafty plan.
Nathan, do you like your mum's dinners?
Yeah. My mum's a great cook. Aren't you, Mum?
Oh, thank you, Dad. And seeing clean plates is the biggest compliment you can get.
Helen's eldest son, William, has just got home from his apprentice job.
It's absolutely fantastic for him because he's got money in his pocket, and I'm so pleased for him. When he did get the apprenticeship, I lost £64 a week. The digs he gives me doesn't come up to that. He gives me £40 a week, but it's still like £24 a week down. But saying that, if I do need extra during the week and he has it, he'll say to me, right, Mum, I'll give it till Friday. And I say, that's fine, I'll give you it back Friday.
How many would you say are in your collection?
13 currently. I always was fascinated by trainers and shoes, and I was never able to afford them. And well, my mum was never able to afford them. I never had Adidas, I never had anything up to date at school. I think I had the same pair of Vans for 2 years at school, and they were ripped. The sole was coming off of them. I think they had, I even think the laces were actually cut in half. To then go to earning my own money and being able to buy what I wanted when I wanted. So this is just me making up for lost time. I've come in and shown my mum like my shoes, and then she's seen the receipt and she's about had a heart attack, and I felt genuinely bad for it afterwards, because like one pair of my shoes is like 3 weeks shopping. £80 like 3 weeks shopping.
I'll sit there and I think, oh, do you know how many shopping trips are on your feet right now? You know, and this is going through my mind all the time, although I would never say it to him. And I'm thinking, oh, and I want to actually cry. I think, you have just paid £50 for a t-shirt. What can I buy for £50? But it's his money. He's earning it, he's working for it, and he has worked to get where he is, so I don't grudge him anything.
What do you think's motivated you? What's driven you to work?
Not wanting my kids in the future to grow up the way that I grew up. I don't want my kids to come home from school upset and crying because they got bullied because I couldn't afford to put decent trainers on their feet. I couldn't afford to give them Walker's crisps and I had to give them Asda's own brand. That's like the silly little things that people will pick at you for. And I just wouldn't want that for my family.
It's Sunday morning and John is at church with his mum and his sister.
We go to Salvation Army Church. They get food donated to them. And they actually help people like in our kind of situation.
John's sister Dami is desperate to work, so 5 days a week she helps others in the community.
I volunteer at Salvation Army, shop and church, Citizens Advice, First Base Agency. I need to just keep it moving, do what you have to do.
Christiana and Dami have chosen to make Salvation Army their denomination, their church, and they become members of one part of the Universal Christian Church so that they can fulfil God's will and purposes for their lives. So I'm going to ask Dami and Christiana to come out to the front, please.
Dami wants to train as a midwife, but until her family's status is secure, Her plans to study and work are on hold.
If you can't work, you're basically a nothing. You can't earn money for yourself, you're a burden on other people, and that's just sad. You're just like a low life kind of thing. You have to depend on other people to kind of feed you and stuff like that. I can't sit at home and not do anything because I'll just start thinking and just thinking about certain things I'm not meant to think about. And I'll get so depressed as well. If anyone is in my situation right now, I'm sure they would want to, like, I wouldn't say commit suicide or maybe get depressed and like other things, because it's really, really tough. Like, it's really tough.
When is it going to be done?
Patience.
Couple of minutes. Good.
Bless this food in Jesus' name and people that provided it in Jesus' name. Amen. Everyone's just too hungry today.
Tonight, John's evening meal has been donated by the Salvation Army.
Is pasta or spaghetti, is that a regular dinner?
No.
Always nice to have a hot food when you come home.
Can't complain though. Just can't wait for the shenanigans to be over, you know. How I kind of like just calm myself down and just go with the flow is keep my family close. Literally, keep your family close. That's what I do.
So it does affect mental health, doesn't it? This
Yeah, it does. It does. It messes your brain up. It messes your brain because no one sees what happens at night. I have cried. Like, I've cried before at night. My parents don't know. Brother doesn't know. I just try to, like, keep that away from them because I don't want to, you know, put my cry baby problem on them again, because then my mum will feel bad for herself for putting her kids in this situation. So I don't want that. So I just keep it to myself. Cry a bit, wipe your face. Tomorrow is here. Let's get it going. It's fine.
In the Gorbals, Marie is halfway through her shift at the bakery.
Going to sit down and have our lunch. Made by Jerusalem, her nice lentil soup, and Abdurrahman, who's made some wheat and chicken. We're having a wee bit extra today. Chicken nice, aye.
I sometimes look at it like I get my lunch 3 times a week, but some of my days that I'm not working, I don't really have a lunch. Try and save some money as well, because I've got to maybe for the nighttime dinner. So it's all about just saving money. I mean, I probably won't have to eat anything later on because I've ate quite a lot of food. And there's always stuff left over. I'm going home with stuff that's feeding my kids tonight, so I don't need to buy anything either, do you know? So it's great.
Securing a good job with a charity which fits around her family wasn't easy for Marie.
Hi.
Her next challenge is keeping it.
My biggest fears about my job is probably if we don't get funding, because my job's only funded to March 2018, so if I don't get any more funding, then I might not have a job. Very difficult. So I kind of think, what would I do? Do you know, like, I don't know. Would I be banking benefits? If my job doesn't get reinstated, then I'm on universal credits. And that is so scary. I don't know, waiting for a payment for 6 weeks. I've got to be in so much debt. It's just too scared to think about. I mean, I have to think about it, but sometimes I try not to, because it's very, you know, because I don't have big things behind me to say, well, I'll know I'll get something else. that's not going to happen. I do hope that I try and encourage my kids to kind of try and keep out of school, and so that they've got a better future than that I see for myself. So I hope for them rather than me.
I have to be really careful. Kermit the Frog. Okay,
Helen has received some news from her 22-year-old daughter who's training to be a nurse.
She's a student at university trying to keep a wee house, and she can't because the council have now started, they've hit her with so much rent that she just can't afford to live there. So it's just trying to rearrange the whole house in order to accommodate her, because if I can't find room for her, then she's homeless, which is just not going to happen. But the council are not very happy because they say that I voluntarily made myself overcrowded. But it's like, it's my daughter. What am I going to do?
It means turning their 3-bedroom home into 4, and with an extra mouth to feed, more financial juggling for Helen.
So now we can get that together, which is in there. I've pushed them so hard to do what they want, follow their heart, follow what it is they want to do, visualise what they want to be and go for it. But they can't have that because they don't have the funds to be able to do that. And I get so angry because we're trying so hard to better ourselves. The kids are trying so hard. I'm encouraging them on a daily basis, and then at the end of the day they'll turn around and say, Mum, but what's the point? And I'm like, no, you cannot give up. You will not give up. You have to keep going. And I know I sound like a tyrant saying that, but it's no, you're not giving up. I will find a way. We will find the money. We will get this done. You're not giving up.
You're really practical and pragmatic about things, Helen, but does it sometimes get emotional?
Well, it does. It does, especially when I see my kids being really down because, well, there's a perfect example. My daughter, she sat crying, saying to me, Mum, I did try, Mum, I did try. I says, listen, sweetheart, I know you tried. Oh, crumbs, I'm filling up as well.
You just want the best for them, Helen.
You certainly do. When you've got your daughter, 22-year-old daughter, sitting there crying buckets because she wants to do all this, she's desperate to better herself, she's desperate to do this, that and t'other, and she can't because there's not enough money. It's all bloody money.
Do you have any feelings of hope for the future for your kids?
Absolutely. Because
in terms of finances?
No, actually, I don't really. I've got to be honest and say, if the kids were here, I would say, absolutely. I will push everything, move heaven and earth to get them what they need. But to be honest, I mean, they could go through all of this, get qualified, become the best mental health nurse, the best engineer known to man, and still not get a job. And nobody said it was going to be easy, but at the end of the day, we didn't realise it was going to be this damn hard either.
Today, it's a good food day for John.
John, tell me about school today.
I had pasta bolognese. It was nice.
Nice?
Huh?
Nice?
Yeah.
And I had this nice toffee yogurt.
Really?
Yep.
What's happened? What news have you got?
Started having free school meals in school.
How's that?
Yeah, it's actually quite nice. It's delicious.
Makes all the difference having a hot meal, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Especially in the cold. You can get cold if you have too many cold meals.
The local council has granted John his wish, and he is now eligible for free school meals.
Macaroni, cheese, garlic bread, vegetables, chili noodles, definitely. Hot dog roll with chips and sweet corn. Quite nice. Can't wait for the chicken fried rice. Never had it before.
Do you think it'll be spicy?
Yeah. I'm just writing a letter to the person who gave me free school meals. At the end of it, I was really happy.
What kind of things do you think about for your future?
Good things about my future. I mean, my future is to become a footballer and an engineer. And if the engineering or the football doesn't work, and I'll just switch to a bank manager. I mean, I like those jobs. They both include maths, and I like maths as well. So it's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win situation.
My wish for my brother is just for him to just get what he do what he wants to do. I just wish everything can just be okay, and my parents can work, I can go to school, I can live as a normal child, normal grown up. There's so many things you would want to do, you can't do it because you just been put in this full stop. It's just a bit annoying, frustrating, and disappointing.
Bank manager, then you'd really be in the heart of the money, wouldn't you?
Money, 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 money.